Good Friday morning to you all. We got a lot of big news items out there today, so we got a big Watchmen update today. Let's get into it. We got states beginning a battle of redistricting. Is it a cold civil war? And a major airline is about to shut down their service to the United States and other countries starting tomorrow. This is a big one. If you're getting on airplanes soon, you need to be aware of this. This is going to cause big disruptions starting tomorrow. Melania is going to be suing Hunter. Yeah, that's a big one. We got the U.S. Navy starting to begin patrols in the Caribbean Sea against traffickers and cartels. They are going to be assisting the U.S. Coast Guard with interdicting ships. This is why the Navy exists, but hasn't been used like that before. India doesn't want to cooperate anymore with the United States. They have too good of a scam, and they just want to keep on repackaging Russian oil and selling it. We got high stakes in Alaska starting today. Big meeting between Putin and Trump. This is negotiations at the highest levels between the U.S. and Russian governments. That begins today. That and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are your updates that you guys are sending in. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts. If you have a 401k, an IRA, and you want to move your assets from stocks, bonds, into something more stable like physical precious metals, Jonathan and his team can talk to you and help you figure out what might be best for you. If you want to find out more, there'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, Canada Air. That's a pretty big airline. It serves a lot of the United States, and if you're going internationally, you may very well have flown with them. They're facing a total flight attendant strike that will ground all of its planes and cancel all of its flights starting tomorrow, which is Saturday, August 16th, tomorrow for most of you who watch this today. So we got a major airline shutting down operations there. We got, that's going to impact not just them, but all those people that would have flown with Canada Air are going to have to find flights on other airlines. So it's going to make it harder to find seats on a lot of planes. Melania Trump has demanded that Hunter Biden retract his comments linking her to, the island guy, threatening $1 billion lawsuit. You don't want to make Melania mad, and she's not happy with Hunter, right? So we'll see how this goes, but so far Hunter has said that he's absolutely not going to retract his statements, and he's going to go back to the white powder and just keep on doing his thing. That's probably not a smart choice, given that there's going to be a whole bunch of lawyers coming after him. All right, the United States has announced that they're going to impose visa restrictions on Cuban officials as well as third-party country governments as well that have ties to the Cuban forced labor program, and also they're exploiting Cuban medical professionals. So basically, you don't have a choice in Cuba whether you work or not, and so they have a lot of farms and a lot of things like that. Other countries are kind of actually making use of the free or cheap labor in Cuba, and this is bringing sanctions from the United States government. Now, this is going to target officials from Africa, Brazil, Cuba, Grenada. So it's kind of a diverse number of countries. It didn't specify which countries in Africa, so I assume that there's a number of them. But that's going to make it so that they can't come into the United States, and it's also going to start going after their financial assets because they are engaging in, let's just not mince words, slavery. That's what it is. When you're forced to do work and you don't get paid for it, as is happening in Cuba, and other people are benefiting from that. They are participating in trafficking. President Trump has offered, is about to offer President Putin this afternoon. This is the leaks of what they're hoping to offer Russia in these negotiations. They're going to offer him minerals. Now, at first, I don't know if that's such a great idea, but I'm not in on all these meetings and everything like that. He will propose money-making opportunities to encourage Russia to end the war. Proposals include giving Putin access to the rare earth minerals in the Ukrainian territories and opening up Alaska's natural resources to Moscow and lifting some of the American sanctions on Russia's aviation industry. Now, I don't know if that's really that sweet of a deal. If you listen to Russia, basically they've always said that the whole point of the conflict is security. They fear for the security of Russia, and that's why they're engaging in this. They're not trying to make money, so offering them money is kind of inconsequential. They have lots of ways of making money, and Russia isn't exactly short on minerals. They have vast expanses of Siberia, and they got mines. They got so many resources that they haven't been able to exploit. It's not like they necessarily need more resources. They need more security guarantees. They need protection, and they need access to world markets. That's really what they want more than anything, I think. So we'll see how these negotiations go starting today. But when you look at the list of people that are engaging here, you got presidents engaging with presidents. You got secretary level cabinet members engaging with secretary cabinet level type counterparts over in Russia. All of these folks are coming to Alaska to do these negotiations. It sounds like this first round is more of a get to know you, and also to start discussing what kind of policies would be able to be negotiated. So they're trying to just frame the future negotiations. So they're going to make a bunch of discussions. They're going to talk about what they really want, and hear each other out, and hear what kind of red lines there are, like we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. And to really start to frame the negotiations. So probably won't hear too much coming out of these sessions. We'll see in the second round when Zelensky and Ukraine are at the table. That's when we're going to see if there was real progress made. If not, that will also go nowhere, or they'll just cancel those rounds. The United States has ordered deployments of U.S. Air Force and naval forces to the southern Caribbean to fight against drug groups. Drug groups interdicting ships on the high seas. This is stuff that is usually the U.S. Coast Guard, but now we have the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force starting to protect the United States, which is really something they haven't done. I mean, they protect every other country against every other country, but they don't really ever protect the United States, which is kind of shocking when you think about it. They're starting to protect the United States. It's crazy. And the United States has warned that additional tariffs on India if the Trump-Putin talks fail. So India is on notice that the secondary sanctions are going to hit India, China, and other countries. He's talking 100% tariffs. Now, it doesn't mean that like infinite tariffs or whatever. That means like if the widget costs $4 to make over in whatever country, maybe it sells at $600 like an iPhone in the United States, but it costs $4 to make over there. That means that there's going to be a $4 tariff on that product. Now, that's not something to sniff at, but it is, it's a supposedly going to happen. The United States has warned that these secondary tariffs on India over Russian oil purchases. But India is refusing to back down. And I think that we're going to see some interesting things. Honestly, India is refusing to back down because the grift is too good. They're buying discounted oil from Russia. They're repackaging it as Indian oil, and then they're selling it to Europe. And if you're like, Steve, that sounds crazy. And yet that's exactly what they're doing. Europe is buying up massive amounts of Russian oil, but they're buying it through India. And India is just bringing it in, repackaging it, putting on new ships, and then sending it back out and calling it Indian oil. And all these European countries are just tickled to death to buy fairly cheap oil from the Indians that is definitely not Russian. Europeans, they're just it's all about virtue signaling. That's what it really comes down to for them. President Trump has signed an order to ease space industry regulations. This is a big win for Elon Musk. The executive order is to streamline federal regulations governing commercial rocket launches. So SpaceX will definitely benefit from this, but other space startups are also going to benefit from this. The United States is rapidly trying to corner the market on space access. SpaceX, of course, already putting a whole lot of stuff up into orbit. They are making it so that basically other countries really can't compete. And this is, they're even getting some competition from the likes of Electron and some of these other tech aerospace startups that are trying new and innovative concepts. But they've been having trouble getting FAA clearances to launch. Gavin Newsom of California has threatened to redraw electoral maps in California after President Trump missed his deadline, as if Gavin Newsom's deadlines really mean anything. Anyway, he has said that California will move forward with drawing new congressional maps that he said will end the Trump presidency and allow Democrats to take control of the U.S. House of Representatives. So California is one of the most gerrymandered states. They've redistricted the state of California so much that there's hardly any representatives from California that represent Republicans. He's saying they're going to try to redistrict everything so that there are no Republican congressional seats whatsoever. And that might just be a little bit interesting for them, because if they do that, they will be creating purple districts that they could lose. And you might actually see a landslide, because they have to weaken the advantage that the blue districts have in order to gobble up those other red districts. This could actually backfire on them. Plus, red states could retaliate by eliminating more blue districts out there. So, I mean, Republican states have basically not gerrymandered even 10% as much as the blue states have. And so when it really push comes to shove, the Democrats really can't squeeze much more oil out of the stone, whereas the Republican states could absolutely make 30, 40 Democratic seats disappear like that if they chose to do so. The problem is they've been stopped in court time and time again under these these court cases that they are racially biased or whatever like that, which is, they don't really care about race. They care about the fact that they don't like Democrats. I mean, Republicans don't like Democrats, just like Democrats don't like Republicans. I mean, it's really straightforward, actually. Okay, Barbaram says, same issues with bananas in southern Ohio. Bananas look great on the outside, but the blooming end of the fruit inside is already rotting. Randy says, Texas, I was at Walmart in Palestine, not that Palestine, and the coffee normally I buy used to be $14.54. Now it's $17.88. That's a 23% inflation in just less than 2 months. Ridiculous. Now that is driven not so much by inflation, but it is being driven by the bad harvest that we've seen and the 50% tariffs that we slapped on Brazil, where we import a third of our coffee. A third of our coffee comes from Brazil, and we just hit them with a 50% tariff. What do you think's going to happen to the price of coffee, right? But we're not seeing the effects of that yet. We're mostly seeing right now on the shelves the effect of the coffee shortage out there in the world. Probably doesn't mean that coffee will disappear in the United States. What it probably means is that coffee will get expensive in the United States. Postscript says, bought fresh peaches at our local Safeway store yesterday here in Phoenix, Arizona. And when I got home, I decided to treat myself to one. You can see where this is going. They were great color and firm on the outside, but when I bit into one, it was extremely soft and fleshy, but no taste and quite mushy in my mouth. I checked 2 more peaches and they were the same. Such a waste of my hard-earned money. Won't be buying any more peaches, that's for sure. What are they doing to our produce? It's crazy. They've industrialized it and it tastes just like it was made in a factory. Mohawk duck, that's a picture right there. Only 4 states currently allow residents to grow tobacco for personal use. I did not even know that. Those states are Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. If you live in one of those states and you wish to grow your own tobacco, you must obtain a tobacco grower's license. I imagine this has to do with our little conversation about a different green weed that is looking like it's going to be decriminalized, or at least reclassified. Melissa says, Northern Kentucky, Covington. No robins here, no birds. I have been feeding the birds. They are starving. They line up on my porch rails and wait for me. I saw my first and only butterfly yesterday. What are these birds supposed to eat? There's no bugs. Brenda says, from Georgia, I saw 2 woolly worms on Monday. They're mostly black with only a thin stripe of brown on them. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, this means a colder, snowy winter. Long-term forecasts do say that we're going to be getting a cold winter this year. So hopefully you guys are preparing for that now. If you got wood to put up, do that. Make sure that you have emergency backup heat sources for your home. And be prepared for energy prices to be going through the roof. We're already seeing that. Some states, the electricity bills are just going bananas. Casey and Sasha, Northeast Arizona. Fruit trees never got blossoms here this year. Some neighbors got a few. Lots of cloudy skies. Weather has been very unusual. Virginia says, I just received a shipment of canned meats from Keystone Meats. Ordered some last year, no problem. But this year, all the cans of beef were bad. 3 were visibly bulging, and the others were not holding a vacuum. No dents, just obviously bad processing. I will see how they will compensate me. Scary. Do check all of your cans and everything like that, right? Barbara says, here in Northeast Wyoming, I've lived here for 5 years now. Always inundated with house moths in the summer. I mean, they would fall out of my storm door every day, dozens of them. This year, I think I've seen 3 total. Lots of bumblebees, but very few honeybees. Tons of mosquitoes that bite me. They never used to bite me before. Weird. Abnormal insects, lack of insects. That's kind of what we're seeing out there, friends. Thanks so much for your reports, and please do keep them coming in. Appreciate you being part of the Watchmen community. If you have anything else to share, make sure you use the word update in your comment. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. Just tap it and fill out your information. They'll get in contact with you. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.